get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
it
looking
bad, I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap,
and
my blood
fastest
boils
rising
over like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fucked up real bad.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less if you like me or not. I'm here for success, and there's no one more successful than Grayson Waller.
Yeah! Let me talk to you! War game.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the BX Sports JEDI Network. We are back to Heal the Ring podcast. We are here with some new members here that are going to join us, part of the family of the Heal the Ring podcast, Evan and Jason. But first, I want to say hello to Producer Pete. Producer Pete, happy holidays. Welcome back. We are back, baby.
Yes, happy holidays. We are finally back. Thank goodness.
All right, let's say hello to Jay. Jason is going to be joining us. Salute, Jason.
Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Doing well. And let's bring in our big guy, the enforcer. What is going on? Evan. Big Evan in the building. Guys, Big Evan is in the building. We'll salute him here. Let's get right into the nuts and bolts of the program. Here we go. We're going to do a year-end review in the world of wrestling, as well as the end. First, we're going to do the NXT review, but first and foremost, we're going to do news and notes. A little news and notes here. December 26th card at Madison Square Garden. We had the holiday tour. What a phenomenal card. Our friends of the program, Earl Cole from the Wrestling Experience, was there live in attendance, and he had a blast. So I want to give him a little pop, a little salute to him. He always watches along or watches the show, and we want to appreciate that he was at the event. And we enjoyed him having there. Chris the Flash, salute Chris the Flash, our partner in the channel here on the BX Sports JEDI Network in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Chris. And of course, we go back to the holiday tour. There was a little bit of a scare. A little bit of scare there with Santo Escobar was in a Fatal 5-Way Intercontinental ladder match with Gunther, Madcast Moss, Santo Escobar, Kobe Kingston. And I'm missing one more wrestler, guys. Help me out if it was the other one that was in there in that competing match. And nevertheless here, Santo Escobar had a scare off the top of the ring of a minor botch from Kobe Kingston. I have footage there to show you real quick. And right here is where he gets injured. Now, to those that are listening to us on the audio platform, I showed the video footage there. Kobe Kingston tried to jump from the one side of the ladder to the other side, and he did a move from both ladders where he landed abruptly on the side of Santo Escobar. He was helped back to the locker room by Jamie Noble, but later to reveal that he was nothing too serious. He managed to work on his own power, everything okay. They avoided a scare there. And of course, when I was told that ladder match was one of the best ladder matches on a non-televised event in a long time there, where we have a winner, and I'll let you see the video footage here of the winner of that contest. Not only see it, you could hear it, and by those chops, you could imagine who won. None other than Gunther, who is now arranged as Intercontinental Champion over 200 plus days as Intercontinental Champion. Pete, your thoughts there on the non-televised event there, just by the small footage? Wow, that chop. I know
Yeah.
you love those chops and you appreciate it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, those chops really go crazy. So for Gunther to retain, this is going to be very good because, he's really stepping his game up with that Intercontinental title. Hopefully, if he holds on that title long enough to pass the Honky Tonk Man for longest reigning, because that would be great to see him being the longest reigning Intercontinental champ.
Indeed. Evan, I know you and Jay both are a veteran of going to a lot of NXT because I've seen the videos trying to catch up on the libraries, and you guys are always in attendance, and you've seen Gunther come through the NXT, even the 2.0 before coming up. Surprise of his the way he's come up and the way he's performing in the main roster?
No, not really, but I'm ready for him to lose that belt already. Hopefully, maybe.
Okay.
I'm somewhat surprised about his performance, and I'm gonna have to go with what Pete said too, and him being one of the longest reigning Intercontinental Championships. I can't wait for that to happen.
We shall see what 2023 holds in store for the Ring Headed Out, and as well as Imperium as a group. There's a little news and notes. There's tease of a fourth member possibly coming in the near pipeline to Imperium. And we seen them, and there's just talks right now. Hopefully they get something going, and it's a name that we weren't gonna expect for it to be a fourth member, but there's talks about having him on there with that Imperium brand and being a fourth member going forward. I can't wait to hear if it gets more traction, but there's right now speculation on it, so it'll be interesting to see there. Also, speaking about speculation and rumors, also rumors that Toxic Attraction, NXT owns Toxic Attraction. They're moving forward. For now, they're going to be getting either a new manager or a third member. Don't know if it's going to be in a manager capacity or an active wrestler. The one and only Eva Marie has been rumored to be in the third member of Toxic Attraction. I'm going to ask you, Evan, your thoughts on Eva Marie returning and possibly being a manager for Toxic Attraction.
Can she please stay gone? That's all I ask.
NXT Twitter and WWE Universe has that same sentiment. Jason, I'm pretty sure you're probably at the same thought process as Evan.
I'm somewhat at the same thought process as Evan. I mean, she can come back as long as she doesn't get in that ring and do what she did in the past, which was delay her matches or completely botch her whole match completely. But as long as she stay a manager, I'm fine with it.
All right. And Pete, your thoughts on Eva Marie there? Do you think there'll be another opportunity in your eyes, or you're in total agreements with the gentleman below us?
Yeah, I'm in total agreements. Just keep her as a manager. Do not have her as a wrestler because she already failed at doing that. So just keep her as a manager. I feel like she'll be fine doing it there than being a wrestler.
Okay, I'm totally different from what you four or three of you guys but I think she would work third member as Toxic Attraction. Of course her wrestling is toxic and she is attractive. I mean, it fits her her gimmick role. Also in the performance center, where she's gonna have hands-ons with more bookers, more trainers, more agents on there, and she did have a good NXT run in Black and Gold. It's just her main roster wasn't to drag home about. I mean, it wasn't the memorable one, but it got her enough to get to the main roster, Pete. I know but I think it will work this time around, especially the new regime, the way things are moving in NXT and the WWE company itself. I think they could get something golden here for a while, and when you're ready to have a return of Mandy Rose, if indeed she returns, well, that's a good storyline to get Eva Marie out or whatever for a placeholder. I think it will work in my opinion. But again, like I said, I'm in the minority of everyone who doesn't want to see Eva Marie, and I get it, folks. I get it why you wouldn't want to see Eva Marie return, but I still think this is the land of an opportunity and a chance to return with that. So we'll see what that holds for Eva Marie going forward. Another news and notes there, it was said that AEW is going to have a new TV set. Remember, they have their former protege of Kevin Dunn now works for AEW, so they're going to get a repackage of the way it's going to look. Maybe the double entrance with the heels and face come in differently, that might abolish. It'd be interesting to see. I kind of want to see that because I still don't think it's going to help their ratings, in my opinion, Pete.
Yeah, I believe I've seen the ad for the new year, and it looks pretty good. I've seen the full version of it, and with all the different wrestlers there, and it was actually very good. I hope that the new setup is very nice. It looks a little bit more different than it was for this year and the year prior.
All right, guys. Any thoughts? Are you guys looking forward to that new AEW set, or you're thinking is more wait and see?
I don't think I watch AEW enough to judge, to be honest.
That's a perfect answer.
I agree with Pete, and I'm pretty excited to see what they have in store for us, and hopefully, the set is much better looking than it was previous years.
All right, yeah, because I kind of seen that the chandelier with AEW looked kind of dingy. It reminded me of, and no disrespect, it reminded me of a place called Crazy Buffet, where it was an Asian all-you-can-eat buffet. They had that big chandelier. If you remember, if you live in Orlando, Florida, you understand what I mean. But that kind of old-fashioned type of, but it is what it is. That's AEW. But all right, let's get right into the NXT review. We still had a little bit of news and notes, but we'll leave that for a little later. NXT, the final NXT that was recorded 3 weeks ago. All four of us here on this panel were there live. We were there live and in person for all the three programs there. And of course, this is the last one. Started off with JD McDonough taking on Julius Creed with Brutus Creed in his corner. When I saw this match, of course, supposedly a week before, or a couple segments before, you had JD McDonough totally dominate both the Creed brothers. I know they're actually in that storyline with Indushay, but Pete, we seen the match there, and we see McDonough fall to Julius Creed. What were your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It just kind of seemed weird because the week prior, he faced off against the brother of Brutus, and it was kind of like he destroyed both of them at the same time. But then you have him losing to Brutus, Julius, and it was like, wow, that was kind of a little odd storyline wise. But I guess it helps to put Julius over at the end of it.
All right. And your thoughts, Evan, when you saw McDonough lose there? It's a two-part question. Well, let me get your guys' thoughts on that, and then I have the second part on that question.
I'm ready for JD McDonough to get a title shot, to be honest. I think he's too talented to be stuck in the mid-card. But also, it was kind of shocking to have him lose after all that momentum that he got.
Okay. Jason, give me your thoughts there on that match there, and then I'm going to get back to Evan on that because I want to follow up on that.
Yeah, so I will have to agree with both of them. I was pretty shocked when JD did lose to Julius. And beating Brutus the following week or 2 weeks ago, I was happy for that, and I'm just waiting for that moment when he gets another title shot, and hopefully he does become victorious and become NXT champion.
Yeah, speaking of that, where does JD McDonough go from here? I know he had a match on main event on a couple of weeks ago. He looked phenomenal up against Reggie. He is ready. We all know he's the protege of Finn Balor. And by the way, that night when we were there live, Finn Balor did come by to see JD McDonough. One of the young men that comes with one of the young kids that come with his grandfather who takes him to the NXT, took a picture with him while they went to the restroom outside in the Performance Center. He was there live. So he went to go see his old protege. Now, would that be a good job to bring JD McDonough? I think he's ready for the main roster. Let alone, I'm going to agree with you, Evan and Jason, if he has an opportunity, because he did win a number one contendership match. And he wrestled for the title and many times and came up short. But if JD McDonough were to move up to the main roster, I have no ills or wills about it, but I'm afraid that he'll get lost. Unless if he gets installed in one of the fashions, which I don't know if he's going to go immediately with Judgment Day. It doesn't kind of fit, but I don't know. I think all four of us are fans of JD McDonough. Pete,
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like right now he's kind of stuck in a lull right now because it doesn't seem like. I mean, he had like 3 opportunities for the NXT title, and they just didn't have him winning. But I don't know. It just kind of seems that now he's stuck in a lull in NXT. I feel like it's probably the right time to either push him to the main roster or probably do something to get him back into the title scene in NXT.
Right. It'll be interesting for JD McDonough. We all want him to, because he is a good performer. I don't care what people say, he is a really good performer from technical aspect. I understand his promo and could use some work, especially with the old pain gimmick, and he comes up a little bit creepy-ish, but when it comes to in-ring ability, he could go and not for nothing, another wrestler, and I know it's a little bit off topic, that won me over too, that I watched his match, and I'm not a big fan of, was Axiom. What a hell of a match! And I hate to take it off topic, but he had a hell of a match with I forget his name. Oh God, it just did he keep the guy from Chicago, Mustafa Ali. Excuse me for that. I apologize. So many names. Thank you for putting me out there. They had a phenomenal match there, but I just wanted to bring that a light. So you got a couple. NXT is grooming some wrestlers to are ready to go to the main roster, and JD McDonough could be one of the ones ready to go up and ready to take that next mantle, that leap there. So for him, we want to see where that goes. We know what's going to happen now with Julius and Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers. They're going to fight into Shea. They came out, they challenged them for New Year's Evil. Now I'm going to ask you, Evan. Evan, are you excited to see these these four men finally go at it in New Year's Evil, or the build up? What's your thoughts on the build up to that? Well, Jason, what about you?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this match at New Year's Evil, and the build-up was pretty cool. To have them deny their match for Design, and then have Brutus and Julius face off against JD to prove to JD that they're ready for it in this year, and have that match at New Year's Evil.
I'm glad you mentioned that angle there, Evan. If you're back with us, let us know. If not, I'll throw it over to Pete. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've been excited since the start. I knew it was gonna happen when Veer just randomly showed up on NXT one day, and then they started beating the hell out of them for literally no reason. But yeah, I know it's gonna be what JR used to say, a slobber knocker.
Yeah, good point there, Pete. What's your thoughts there? Finally, for the build up and the match.
Yeah, I like the build up as well. I can't wait for the match to happen at New Year's Evil. This is going to be very hard hitting, I'll tell you that. Especially with Veer there. He's going to freaking bring the pain right there.
Yeah, we should see on that. Anyone I'm one of those who love the conspiracy, the plot twist. I'm thinking there's something fishy going up with Ivy Niles within the Shea. Is it me, or anyone wants to talk me off that ledge? Who wants to go first?
I'm pretty sure you're the only one.
Go ahead, Evan.
Okay, Evan thinks I'm the only one.
Say that.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, no, I definitely see something going on, and also her protecting Julius from that rib injury that he had, so that he didn't have that match against Ichiro on a random episode of NXT. But yeah, I definitely see something fishy going on, and we'll just have to wait and see until New Year's Evil.
All right, Pete, your final thoughts before we go on to the next match.
Yeah, I do see that little conspiracy theory. I feel like it's that slow build into it. Like, they're just giving that little subtle hints before they really go on with it. So yeah, I kind of see a little something going on with them. I want to see how they do this with how they build it up.
All right, so we'll go on to the next match. I'm gonna sum this up with a quick wrap up. I think there is something there, and that's gonna open the door for a Roderick Strong return to Diamond Mine. Just keep that in mind there. That's just me going on the limb there. So we go on to the next match coming up of the night. It's kind of a revenge match there. Cora Jade taking on Wendy Chu. We saw Cora Jade threw the drink in Wendy Chu and made her cry. This was another match here with these two ladies, like a grudge match type but it was in the ring. Of course, you saw Wendy Chu gets a full Nelson slam into a Vader bomb. Wendy Chu actually, in a surprise, pins Cora Jade there. I was surprised with that. Pete, your thoughts on seeing Wendy Chu get that pin on that Vader bomb? That Vader bomb looked great, by the way. Yeah,
it looked very great. I mean, for Wendy Chu, obviously she does still have that silly gimmick, but she's very talented in the ring. So it was very crazy. Especially, I like that full Nelson slam that she hit on that too. That move was actually pretty good with the way she did it. It was very good. But Wendy Chu picking up the win. I mean, even though the promo was it was a little weird, but yeah, I understand what they were trying to do there. So very good win for Wendy Chu right there.
I'm gonna go to Evan, but before I go to Evan, I want to say salute to Brandon Schultz and Dark Knight. Salute Dark Knight. Dark Knight watches us from England, so he is England in the building. So salute to him from far away. We always reach out all across the pond and across the globe. So thank you, Evan. Your thoughts here with Wendy Chu picking up the victory on Cora Jade here. I know nobody wants to see another match with these ladies again, but what's your thoughts?
I wasn't really surprised because you know how it almost always goes. The heel most likely will win first, and then the baby face wins. So if they have it at New Year's Eve, which I think they do, I could be wrong. I think it's going to be Wendy Chu that takes the W. But I wasn't really surprised, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Jason?
Yes, I was very surprised that Wendy Chu did pick up the win against Cora. I am a big Cora Jade fan, and to see that happen in person was very upsetting. But what I think may happen in the future, they're building up to have Wendy Chu versus Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade, possibly at New Year's Eve or even at Vengeance.
I didn't think about that. All right. Now let me ask this question here. When the Wendy Chu sleepy gimmick. We saw her in another gimmick before, but her sweepy time let me ask you, Evan, does it resonate in the main roster? She had an impressive match, by the way, on the main roster. What's your thoughts?
As Mei Ying or as she is now?
No, Wendy Chu. Just Wendy Chu. With the sleepy time gimmick.
I don't know if it's gonna do that well, to be honest. But I guess we'll see. But I don't know. I don't know if the main roster crowd's gonna like it.
Okay. I mean, she had okay reaction.
I guess when she.
Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I honestly don't watch main event, so I really didn't know about that.
Okay, all right, Jason. Just by without being biased, not watching main event though, your thoughts immediately with the gimmick coming onto the main roster with the pillow, the sleeping time with Wendy Chu with the cup. What you think? What's your thoughts?
I definitely can see it in between. It's a 50-50 here, and with her here in NXT doing sleepy gimmick and people loving it. And I know a lot of people who watch the main roster don't really watch NXT as much. So when she did go to the main event and have that match against Tamina, people really were like confused of what her gimmick was and everything. But eventually when they realized, how she is and how she is in the ring, they will definitely get to see her and love it.
All right. Pete, your thoughts on the Wendy Chu gimmick? Would it resonate in the main roster on either Raw or SmackDown?
I would say if I were to bet on it, yeah, it would more as a comedy gimmick. More like if this was Vince McMahon's WWE again, yeah, it would definitely fit in as just a comedy gimmick, like how Heath Slater did his thing, with the comedy and R-Truth. I feel like, yeah, she would fit into the main roster, just for like segments and stuff, maybe a few other things. But yeah, I if I were to bet on it, yeah, as more of a comedy thing.
I think it will resonate. In my opinion, I think it will do well, because remember, WWE doesn't just cater to us grown folks, because you could say the NXT universe is mostly grown. Older adults that go there. They also cater to a lot of kids, a lot of young girls. That's Blanca Belair is over. Lily Doll is over. You make a sleeping time pillow, just a freaking pillow. The WWE can make billions of dollars, and Wendy Chu can make a boatload of money with just selling up sleeping time pillows. The cups, a teddy bear just comes up with a. So I see for marketing and money wise, it's a money grab if they do with the sleeping time with Wendy Chu, and not only that, she's a good performer in the ring, and she's really could go at it, and not to take it for granted, she's also friends with a lot of other wrestlers, lady wrestlers from other organizations, and that's another recruiting. You know, a certain dentist might want to come. You know, friends with her, a Virtuosa. You never know. She was a bridesmaid in one of those ladies' weddings. Or you know, it's all about networking. That's just me putting it out there in the universe. So, Jeff Samuel, what is up? And of course, Jeff Samuel says here, thank you for writing in the chat. What's up, guys? Wendy Chu fits for the kids. Absolutely. There's always a room for Wendy Chu, in my opinion. Now, we're going to go to another match that I know everybody stopped what they were doing in NXT. No one went to the bathroom. No one went to get water. No one did nothing but sit there and waited with anticipation, ready to scream. And it was Ichiro Uman taking on Scripps. One of the big banger after banger after banger. Jason, what was your thoughts with Scripps and Ichiro for the wonderful pineapple jacket?
I was in between. I really wasn't in my seat. I was more in the bathroom, like you said people weren't doing. I did use the bathroom on that, and the Scripps thing, to be honest with you, it has to go. I would just like to see Reggie by himself be his happy character on NXT, unlike his weird, creepy Scripps character that no one cheers for, no one likes, everybody hates.
I'm the only one doing this in the crowd. You see me, the only one writing my name like crazy. My wrist was hurting me. Evan, your thoughts on Scripps?
Dude, I like it, but it's just that mask has to go. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's because I honestly don't see the point of him wearing a mask because it's so obvious who it actually is at this point. You know, like right when he debuted, I'm pretty sure we all knew it was him. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, when it comes to him and Ikemen, I liked it, but to me it was just kind of weird to see Ikemen without a jacket on. That's all I got from it.
Yeah.
No. We see Scripps defeat Ikemen by pinfall. Besides the gimmick, Pete, the in-ring ability between these two wrestlers, going at it. I thought the match was a good, solid beat, man. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a very good match. Like aside from the gimmicks, yeah, for both of these guys, they were very great in the rings, and you know, hopefully, you know, maybe things change for a little bit, but for those two, and you know, hopefully Reggie finally gets rid of the mask because, like we all said, the mask kind of looks very weird.
Yeah, it does. It does. And he left him the jacket. Even though he gets the victory, he leaves him the jacket there and he walks away victorious. Scripps, where again, no pop from, and the worst thing that can happen for a performer is not getting no reaction. Either you get a lot of heat or you do not get heat there. And we're going to go into the next match here. But before we get to the next match there, I was just told there, I forgot to mention the breaking news. Breaking news was we have an arrest in the WWE. Unfortunately, on Christmas Eve, Dominic Mysterio was arrested trying to cause some havoc, some problems back home in the Mysterio household. His father, and of course, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio was taken in handcuffs, put away, and he wanted mommy, I cannot survive in jail. So now there's some t-shirts out there, and you know what? I find it so hilarious, Pete. The second part of the Thanksgiving, now Christmas, I can't wait what New Year's is in store.
Oh man, that was so funny.
Oh, that was hilarious. I actually like it because they're keeping you invested to find out what's going on. They're working and working the angles even on holidays. So I love that. I like what WWE is doing here. I enjoy it. Evan, what's your thoughts on those vignettes for now Thanksgiving, now Christmas with Dominic and Ray, and also bringing that eventually clash of those two?
I didn't see that one Christmas one, but I do remember the Thanksgiving one. And to be honest, I'm ready to see Rey Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley ladder match for the custody of Dominic again.
Yes. And Jason, your thoughts on that? I think it's working. For me, it's working. It's building anticipation for WrestleMania finally, if it happens at WrestleMania.
Yes, I did enjoy both of them, the Thanksgiving and the Christmas one. And yes, I can't wait to see what would happen between Dominic and Ray, and even Rhea. Maybe have Rhea versus, like Evan said, Rhea versus Ray, or maybe have Dominic versus Ray, his own father, son versus father, at WrestleMania.
Yes, that's a good build-up. I can't wait, like I said, what they're going to do for the New Year's. And, well, in the Latin culture, they celebrate the three wise men, Dia de los Reyes. I wonder if they'll do something on that day. It'll be hilarious if they do that on that in WWE with full tradition. Maybe maybe they do something Tuesday night at the NXT New Year's Evil, something that will finally be the breaking point. Who knows? Stay tuned. You never know with that there. But all in all, I really enjoy what WWE is doing, keeping us invested on that. When we go to the next match, it's Lara Valkyrie versus Lash Legend. Now, this match, unfortunately, I cannot give you that many details myself because that's one of them, because I was so excited and so enthusiastic with the Reggie match that I had too much water, and that's when it was a walking bathroom break for me. So I'm going to go throw this to Jason. Jason, Lara Valkyrie versus Lash Legend, because I know you were in the bathroom for the first match. You must have gotten back just in time to watch this slobber knocker.
Yeah, this match actually was pretty okay. It was all right. There were some spots where I was like, okay, this maybe should not happen again, with Lyra facing a taller female in the company. But her match beforehand, and the previous week before, I loved it, and I can't wait to see what she would do in the future, and just, hopefully she gets a title shot.
Oh, that's pretty soon. Evan, your thoughts on Valkyrie here, that match?
As much as I love Lyra, I think if they do it right, give it like a couple months, she could probably be the one that beats Roxanne, to be honest. Wow. And then her versus Lash just kind of showcase how talented Lyra is, to be honest, and how
so you guys are big on her. Wow. Wow. So Evan, so you guys are big on her. Obviously, you must have seen her NXT UK.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know she came from there. I'm just judging based off of what I've seen in Orlando.
Wow. Oh, so you're giving that's your eye test. So here it is, folks. Evan is giving his eye test on three matches from Val, and he sees an eye test. And hey, you know what? This is on December 28th. You know what? You put it there on paper. You have the receipts there. Keep that receipt there, because you were the one that told us so when that does happen. With the talented Valkyrie here, Valkyrie. Pete, yeah, you got it right there. Pete, your thoughts on that? Let me ask you this. I know I'm watching on TV. We were live. All four of us guys, Randy and Jeff, thank you for joining us. Dark Knight, Brandon, and others that are watching us. All four of us here on this panel were at NXT live. We were in person live, so we do not get to see all the special effects, the vignettes, or the promos backstage. Even though they do put them on the arena, we just can't hear it because everyone is loud and just totally loud. They had the rain effect and looked like some bad CGI, but I think what's your thoughts on her in general?
I think she's all right. I think, well, for first, as she needs some knee pads, because during that match we saw her knees looked like all scraped up and everything, because that looked kind of bad. But overall she's all right. I mean, I haven't really seen her in NXT UK, but like with Evan, getting a fresh eyes look at her, and she's doing pretty good for herself. I don't know what they're doing with Lash Legend, though, because I feel like whatever push that she was ever getting kind of put a stop to that. But, all in all, I think Valkyrie, yeah, she's doing pretty good. I can't lie.
I want to see how she grows. Everybody wants to see the big battle of feathers with Valentina Ferenc versus Valkyrie. Now, so we had a lot of feathers in that match. But I think personally with Last Legend, I think Last Legend is going to be plopped into the tag team division with Jaraki Jackson, and I think that's going to be a new tag team. I really like Last Legend personally. I think personally I'm big on Last Legend. I am really on her side because she checks all the boxes. She's tall, she's athletic, she's beautiful looking, she's got the it factor. She's a total heel, and she fixed it. But she's gotta improve her in-ring ability, because through the birdies, through the back channels, she's a little bit unsafe. And if you get that unsafe label, there's an issue. There's an issue because there's been problems with her and Ivy Niles don't get along. And they had a couple matches where it almost were in kayfabe, a little bit of a back and forth where it wasn't part of the gimmick. It was kind of like almost breaking character of a little bit of a botch or a little bit too hard hitting. So just keep it no. So Last Legend has a little bit of a rep there, but I think she checks all the boxes. Jacob Peter, salute. So we move on from here. There we get to the next match here is Schism. All three members of Schism taking on Enofe, Malik Blade, Odyssey Jones. Now these 6 gentlemen, when it comes to Enofe, Blade, and Odyssey Jones, they fit. They fit perfect. And of course, Schism with Simone or Ava Rain fits perfect. They're the next up and coming facet that's growing. Now, this match between these guys, I liked it. It was a really good match. It was a 6-man tag. It was clean. It was good. The crowd loves Enofe and Odyssey and me and Diedrich but when it comes to Schism, they're growing. They're growing the heat, and the crowd is starting to get on them, getting over. Pete, give me your chime in here. Give me some thoughts on that.
Oh man, Schism is getting greater and greater, especially like if we can talk about the ending of that little ending sequence, going for that Doomsday device. Whoo! That double Doomsday device was incredible, and especially the ending with the double code breaker into the clothesline. What a finish! That was incredible, man. I liked every moment of that match. It was insane.
Evan?
Well, I love the Schism, to be honest. I like everything about them. And as for Idris and Blade, I don't really like them. But Odyssey, for me, for somebody that's his size, I think he over delivers. Like, the way that he moves and all that, you don't really expect, some guy that's like 400 plus pounds to be able to do that, but he does it. And I think he's going to be a big star once he finally goes to the main roster.
All right, I'm going to throw this to Jay, but I want to acknowledge Jacob, who said the next version of New Day, and I had a theory on that. I mentioned to Pete there with Amari Miller with them also. I didn't think about that, but when it came to New Day, I think New Day would drop their NXT titles to Enofe and Idris. My opinion, kind of patching the torch to like a New Day, where Odyssey is like a Biggie, and the two guys are Kofi and Xavier Wood, kind of passing the torch to a new up and coming young African American tag team there. And the Amari Miller, you know what? I never thought about it. That's a good angle there. Also, I know you might think that Schism might not be working. Trust me, it's working because they opened up a merchandise and everybody in pretty much over 300 plus people in NXT, you could say about 75% ended up buying their new merchandise immediately like this, and they were wearing it. So something is going on with them. They're turning the corner. Jacob, maybe not to your eyes, but it's getting momentum. I'm not saying they're over 100%, but it's gaining traction. So let me go down to Jay there. Give me your thoughts on this 6-man tag there.
Yeah, this 6-man tag match was pretty good. I had to rewatch it when they aired it. I had to rewatch it to make sure that I was correct. And yes, I was correct. That match was pretty good. And Schism, man, I am loving Schism so much. Just one thing about Schism that I don't like is Ava Rain hasn't even got into the ring yet. I am still waiting on when she makes her in-ring debut, and I would like to see where she goes because she is The Rock's daughter, and we know about The Rock and how he is.
Right, and also she's recovering from two knee surgeries while training. So I don't know where she's at in her training ability, but we'll see if she's ready. But I think if she's has a capacity as a manager or a leader of the group, a la Rhea Ripley, you could see that she's kind of taking that range there of NXT version of Rhea Ripley without the manhandling or getting with but she's just ascending there. Not there yet. I'm not comparing them, but it looks like they're grooming her to those lines. I can see that next year. So we move on here to the next here. Oh, before we move on here, I wanted to acknowledge, since we're talking about Ava Rain, I love she got into the. I think this is a gimmick theme with the wrestlers. We started with Grayson Waller, now with New Day not liking, but there's something going on with Booker T and the performers going at him or or drawing at him as a commentary. We also saw Ava Rain get in his grill a little bit there. So I kind of like that, because if Ava Rain wants to be this heel and wants to take that level of the Rhea Ripley, I love the fact that she's getting in there, a la Michael Cole and Bailey type of deal, back and forth. That you saw that we heard it in the arena, but we didn't know what the hell was said unless you were watching it on the replay on your DVR, or if you record on your recording device there. So I really enjoyed that part of it too. As long as they're not disrespectful to the Hall of Famer, but I kind of like that little bit of a heat there.
Yeah, I did hear what she did say eventually when I did rewatch it last night, and she was pretty much saying the same thing they've been saying this entire time, which is 4 roots, 1 tree, and that's all she wrote, and that was the end of the match. That ended the match, and I was sitting right next to Booker T, because that's what I said every week, and I couldn't even hear what she was saying. So getting to hear what she said was, pretty cool, and yeah.
That's a good thing, because you guys are always there. If you ever watch NXT and you want to know who's Evan and Jason, they're always on the right side of Booker T, a couple seats over. They're always there. You're going to see them next to the lady who has either the Irish flag or the UK flag. So they're always there. They're always live, and you always see myself, my wife, producer Pete, part of the other heel of the ring, right behind Mr. Met, our tribal chief. Terrence, we always sit there. We always sit by Mr. Met, right where the corner. So that's always our seats. These gentlemen like to sit on the other side on the ring announcer. So we're covered, keeping our eyes out through the whole angle of the arena. So it'd be funny to see how that goes there. So we go on to the next match here, and I know this one here. Battle of the Bar. Kiana James versus Fallon Henny. Of course, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen were at ringside with her. Of course, you saw Brooks with a new shirt that she gave her. What was your the match? I like Kiana James, dude. I think she's gonna be a superstar. She's got the heel gimmick to a T. You just got to get her a little more reps in the ring to become a great wrestler. But Pete, what's your thoughts on that match there? It was not that long. It was short and sweet, but it made its point.
Yeah, it was it was a pretty short match, but yeah, I like how Kiana James is really developing her character more and more, especially with her having her assistant, especially with her. It's actually very funny, for her. I mean, for what was it? The backstage segment before, like it even shows more of that little breakup with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen because of Kiana James. It's kind of showing that little bit of tension there, because it shows that Kiana James looks pretty fine for him, so he's kind of like, I'm probably thinking on going with her. So who knows? Hopefully they don't split up like that, because I feel like they're pretty good as a tag team, but
I agree.
Who knows what happens?
I agree. Evan, your thoughts on this match here for the bar with the ladies, and also your thoughts on what's happening with Brooke and Jensen. Do you think there's going to be a split there? Because I do love them as a tag team as well.
For them breaking up, I really hope not. And as for the actual match itself, I'm not going to lie, I kind of really didn't pay attention to it, to be honest.
No, I get it. Some people get water, they walk around with their phone. Yeah, I get it.
For me, it was kind of obvious that it was going to be Fallon, because there's no way that she was just going to, have her kayfabe lose the family business just like that.
All right, Jason, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with both Evan and Pete here, but yeah, that match was pretty short, pretty sweet, and to be honest, it really wasn't interesting to me at all. The concept of the battling for the family bar, yeah, that was pretty cool. And what's happening with Brooks and Briggs, yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. With the gift, with the T-shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't split, but there's definitely a chance that something's gonna happen.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes there with them for the new year with that gimmick here. So we go on to the next segment, and we have an interruption for Drew Gulak. We saw Drew Gulak several times in NXT come out, scout a couple wrestlers, but he comes out with a couple of guys with them there. to demonstrate different things. You also bought Hank, security guard Hank, or we call him Daddy Hanky, in NXT. We see Gulak put up a couple of moves there, show a couple of the wrestlers. On the invitation, we have Miles Bourne, who's by the way, contact me in any day now. So we'll be putting that video up. Miles Bourne, thank you for contacting and being part of the program. We'll play that once we get it there from him. And of course, we have Gulak come out, put a couple moves, and when he got to Miles Bourne turned out to be, hey, not a tough cookie there. He went a little over the top there. You see, Gulak's gimmick, is he coming back as a heel, or I'm a little confused, Pete.
Kind of seems more of, he is kind of coming as a heel, but it kind of seems he's a face right now because, he's doing that little invitational, helping out Hank by the looks of it. And, it kind of seems like they're slowly turning him because you remember he freaking put Homeboy in the Dragon Sleeper and he didn't let go until Hank stopped him. So it was kind of like, we're seeing that little bit of a heelish turn there. So who knows what they might do with Gulak.
Right. And before we go, we're going to stop it up to that point, the Dragon Sleeper, guys. So I'm going to ask you, Evan, until that point there with Gulak, what's your thoughts on Gulak returning to NXT and where you think it's going?
I think he's going to be a baby face just because of the fact that they're kind of like saying, oh, his first feud's going to be Charlie Dempsey. And, Charlie Dempsey's been a heel ever since he came to Orlando from NXT UK. But I don't know. The way that he's been kind of acting, especially with that Dragon Sleeper on Oba, I think he might end up turning heel, and who knows, they might pull a swerve and might actually end up forming a tag team with him and Charlie. So
we have a very first time. So for the very first time, Evan, we're gonna put you on. We asked not to get the spoiler up to the Dragon Sleeper, but the cat is out of the bag. But we're gonna inaugurate you. Welcome to the BS Sport Jedi Network Heal the Ring podcast. Because you know what?
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no!
Here we go.
Welcome to now you're part of our family now because you gave the spoiler. Because yes, Evan mentioned out of nowhere comes out the 2023. My opinion is going to be who's going to have a huge year, Charlie Dempsey. Now, Evan, your thoughts on Charlie Dempsey? Since I'm going to let you go first, since you let the cat out of the bag there. Evan?
I feel honored.
So give me your thoughts there, Charlie Dempsey, coming up. What's your thoughts of it? Wow, he's so enthusiastic with the words. Got me. Wow. Hold on a second. You know what? I agree with you with that. I definitely agree with your segment.
Yeah.
Jason, give me your thoughts here. Charlie Dempsey and the match here with and the Gulak Invitational. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Charlie Dempsey coming down from NXT UK was pretty cool. Him attacking Andre Chase to set up something that never happened. And the thing with Drew Gulak and his Invitational, I was confused. Then I read to the back of his jacket and it says submission hold, submission teacher, and I was like, okay. And then it was. I just want to see them either tag or have a match or something. And yeah, I was confused about that match.
I feel like if they were to, if they build up Charlie Dempsey versus Drew Gulak, I feel like we're gonna see what back in the pandemic era of WWE, where we saw Gulak versus Daniel Bryan. That to me is like a very good technical match. So if they build up Dempsey versus Gulak, it's gonna be pretty good. I can't lie. I
Let's
know
get
the match is gonna be very good.
all right. As this connection is returned, Evan, you're back with us. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties on his connection. So back to the Gulak, Pete and Charlie, which is looks like it's going to be heading towards there. But first, it's going to be Hank. Hank Walker will step in first to take on Charlie Dempsey, and we know with that that's just a storyline or the build there. We all know Charlie. We've seen him wrestle. Phenomenal wrestler. I think he's going to be a breakout star coming up. Especially let me give you a little bit peek behind the camera. All of us here in the end, we all go live there, and the whole crowd was chanting "Daddy's home." Daddy's back or Daddy's home, and we actually had Charlie break character and gave us a smile. It was a brief one, but he broke character, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was great, especially his matches are always great. Seeing Charlie, I mean, especially his finish when he does the Regalplex. Oh, it's amazing. Like, wow, man, it's just amazing.
Let me ask you, Evan, you saw the Regalplex because when he did that Regalplex, it was in front of you and Jason. What was your thoughts on that when on the Regalplex on prior to, or I think he fought that evening on Level Up?
I did just get a message from Evan. He cannot hear us.
He can what?
He can't hear us.
Something wrong with his connection then. Okay, so let me read this quick question from Kyle Billy. Some guys' question, just my opinion, but what if this led to an NXT version of BCC Gulak? Dempsey, Regal, one more person return. Timothy Thatcher or Damien Kemp. You know what? That's a good question there. Pete, your thoughts on that one? That's a good one. Really good one.
Yeah, that is a pretty good question. So NXT type of Blackpool Combat Club, who knows? It could work. I mean, with Gulak, Dempsey, maybe Damien Kemp. I don't know about Timothy Thatcher because I believe he's still over in Japan, over where I forgot which company he is currently still. But
Noah?
Yes, it's Pro Wrestling Noah. I think he's still over there. So I don't know. Who knows what might happen?
It's a good question there. To kind of build a Blackpool Combat Club there, although we all know that William Regal cannot be on camera for about a year, and they will be he will be backstage and working hands on, but we're definitely going to see a lot of his influence there. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Maybe guy like Hank Walker get pushed a little bit there, although the crowd loves him. A little bit insight. Crowd really loves Hank Walker. The NXT universe there goes nuts for him. But I know it might not translate on TV, but in the crowd wise, maybe they go that route as well. I can see that happening there. Good job there, Mr. Kyle Billy. I really like that one there. And of course, we'll move on to the next question. But I'll answer another one from Jacob Peters. Where is Gallus? Gallus's visa is renewed. They're now able to return back to the WWE. It wasn't because of that's the gimmick angle. A lot of these United Kingdom or NXT UK wrestlers that are currently wrestled and not seen have returned back either with supposedly an injury, suspension, so forth. It's because they had visa. They only had temporary visa. They had some visa issues. Now they're able to return. Gallus will be returning, although I would love to see Gallus goes to the main roster because they are a banger after banger type of match. All three of them they're phenomenal. You could bring them easily with a great program with the Brawling Brutes will be phenomenal, guys. That will be a banger. You thought that Imperium and Brawling Brutes you haven't seen Gallus. And believe me, I seen him personally up close. I wasn't there with them when they first came. I was like, no, they won me over. They are phenomenal, guys. Phenomenal. I'm excited for them to return back into NXT, but hopefully it's just for a short time and they go to the moon, back to the main roster as we get Evan. Evan, can you hear us? Hopefully you can hear us, my friend. He's having technical difficulties. It always happens in our stream. We always get one technical difficulties. We're not perfect, but we want to hear his thoughts because he is a big part of the program. and we'll move on. So we'll move on here. We'll see what happens there. It could be a nice for Blackpool Combat Club. We shall see. And we'll go to our main event here. The NXT champion Wesley taking on the Don, my pal, my compadre, my paisan, the Don of the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Now, right now, what a year, what a closeout year, believe it or not, Wesley has had. Wesley's had a phenomenal closeout year for 2022. Not just a great wrestler, he's a great wrestler, a good person, very nice. And man, let me go with you, Jason. What's your thoughts here with Wesley Tony D'Angelo match? Of course, we see also possibility of lurking in the win. Divac coming back to NXT. What was your thoughts on this whole bout?
Oh, I loved every second of it. The match was pretty amazing. And with Dijak in the back lurking and coming and taking stacks away, I would have loved to see Dijak versus Tony versus Wesley. But it's seeming like we're going to have two single matches, which we did have one, Wesley versus Tony D'Angelo, and we're probably going to get another one with Wesley and Dijak. But I would love to see a triple threat match to happen for the North American Championship. I just can't wait to see what happens.
I cannot wait to see that there, especially with that. Could it be leading to a triple threat? It wouldn't surprise me. I would like to see it, of course, because that's a way if they want to protect Tony D'Angelo from getting a pin or Dijak from getting a pin, you could protect any wrestler that way, or Wesley not to lose his heat. Maybe he has aspiration of going elsewhere for maybe the world title. Who knows? But there's a lot of things that can, when you have a triple threat, you protect certain wrestlers that way. It would be interesting to see there. Evan, are you with us to give us your thoughts? And hopefully your technical difficulties kind of fixed. No, we'll skip. We'll go to Pete. Pete, give me your thoughts.
The match was very good. I always liked Wesley. Wesley has always been my favorite. So for Wesley, to pick up the win, especially that funny moment where freaking Dijak just came out of nowhere, just kidnapped. Oh man, that was just insane. It was so funny, but very good match. I liked how they, if you go into the match and you rewatch it, if you remember when Tony got the injury with his leg, when it was the drop toe hold into that I believe it was the middle turnbuckle. Yeah, yes. You saw that little moment there where he held on to that middle turnbuckle and he just turned around. It was like, ooh, okay, so we're getting that little run back there. But overall, the match was very good. I loved it, and it was a good ending for the NXT.
It was a good way to close it out, especially Dijak taking Stacks back into the abyss there, and Tony getting that distraction because and they allow Wesley to get that pinfall. That was a good way of ending it because that distraction. And now you could, like you said, like Jason was saying, now you could introduce Dijak now part of that feud because now Tony says you interfered in my business. Now you stick your nose in my business, cost me an NXT title match. Get out, you're guess what? Now you got problems with me. And then Wesley is still in that and has still feud with Dijak, and he felt it's perfect setup, good storytelling to introduce a triple threat match. Now, could it be one of Wesley's specialty, a ladder match? I don't think it will because he's the only high flyer, and I don't see Dijak and Tony just getting over that injury to protect them to go want to do a ladder match. It's kind of a little too much, in my opinion, but I'm all for it.
I would be all for it as well. That would be pretty good. That would be very great to see.
Ooh, you know what? Good, Sam. Randy Sam. Good analogy there. Didn't think about that. Tony D'Angelo moves kind of like Brutus the Barber Briefcake. You know what? I didn't think about that. You know what? Now I'm gonna start looking at that. You know what? You when you mention that, come to think about it, it has some similarities there. Yeah, I was trying to figure who Tony D'Angelo. You know what? Awesome there. Nice. I like that. Oh, what do you mean? He thinks Dijak is pulling a swerve to join Tony. Because Tony does work good when he has 3 or 4, or 3 in his group. I know we all know what happened to Two Dimes, with the policy wellness violation, and he's no longer part of the company. But I don't know. I couldn't see. It wouldn't surprise me though. A third member for D'Angelo family.
Remember the promo? He went sleeping with the fishes,
Hmm.
quote unquote.
That's true. But that was a good all in all, the NXT. We're gonna do now we're gonna start the year review there, but let me give your guys' thoughts here. The year 2022 for NXT. Who is your wrestler of the year, Jason? Male first.
Male, definitely has to be Braun Breaker, extending his reign as NXT champion. And I definitely can see him being once again wrestler of the year in 2023 if he doesn't end up going to the main roster. But yeah, definitely Braun Breaker.
All right, Braun Breaker. Pete, your wrestler of the year for NXT.
Wrestler of the year for NXT. I gotta give it to Wesley. I gotta give it to Wesley because I feel like his entire build throughout that year was very good, especially where it led to that North American Championship match back at Halloween Havoc. It's been a very tough ride for him, and it's been very rewarding.
All right, I'm going with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker. I'm a mark for Braun Breaker. If you follow us on my social media platform, BX Sport Jedi on the Twitter, Facebook, you see, or the Heal the Ring Facebook group, you see me with tons of pictures of Braun Breaker. He is photogenic. We're his cheering section. Me and my wife are his cheering section. When he comes out, if you ever notice him, he looks right at us always. When he comes up the stairs, we are Braun Breaker's cheerleaders, put it that way. We are his marks. So Braun Breaker, to me, male performer of the year. I'm going to give you now back to Jason. Give me your top female performer of the year.
It definitely has to be Roxanne. I mean, she extended from being here and being in ROW with Booker T being the champion there, and then coming down here and then beating Mandy Rose with her 413-day reign. So she's definitely put in a lot of work just to be here and a lot of work to end up being your NXT Women's Champion.
All right, Pete.
I gotta give it to Roxanne as well. I believe she's improved. She's been doing a very good job, especially from back in her ROH days, and now that she's been here at NXT and now she's the women's champion. This has been a very good run so far for her.
All right, I'm gonna go with Mandy Rose because she held that title for over a year and some change there. Could have been longer if she had not done whatever happened behind closed doors, in her private life there. Mandy Rose reinventing herself, not putting her ego aside, going down to NXT, working, getting a whole, not just herself, but a group of women over in Toxic Attraction, being the main ladies on the roster, being the main attraction. Why you want to watch women's NXT women is to see Toxic Attraction, the girls winning and all the shenanigans that comes with it, and winning the unification title from Mika Saramona and Davenport at Worlds Collide. That was a big, to me, solidify that. I consider her, to me, the top female performer. Now I'm going to go with the top breakout female performer of the year, or what's your thoughts there, Pete? Breakout performer who there's different from the year. It's like MVP, but the most invaluable player. There's two different type of awards here.
So kind of like most improved, I would
Most
say.
improved, or like, whoa, she broke out, like took her talents to another level.
Hey, I gotta give that one to Sol Ruka. She is going places, especially with that finisher she's got. She's been very much improving, and she's been getting a lot of fan attention from especially that. So I got to give that to her. She's been doing great.
Okay. Your thoughts, Jace?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I have to also go with Sol Ruka in the last few weeks with hitting her with that back foot cutter. It just, and crowd loves her. Everybody loves her. And she's definitely one of, my favorites. Yes.
I got you. And I know what happened to Sol Ruka. She was practicing on the beach, and she botched a couple of things on the beach, but that's where you practice those kind of moves there, Evan. I think that's what he's talking about. I don't know if Jay is correct on that one. Who I'm gonna pick on my breakout female performers? Roxanne. I've got Mandy as the wrestler of the year, but her breakout performance, because she not only won the coming from ROH, signing that contract with NXT, coming on the scene, winning the breakout tournament. Remember, she was the breakout tournament winner. Also, having that not so hot feud with Cora Jade and whatever the case was, but then coming out and being picked on winning the deadline match, as well as becoming the women's champion. I give her the breakout performer of the year. Now I'm going to give you the male breakout performer of the year. Pete, your thoughts?
Trying to think, I'm trying to think about that. I haven't really thought about males. Can you come back to me for a sec? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Jason, your thoughts on male performer of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I also don't really pay attention to try to find the breakout star. But if I really would have to pick one, even though he was in NXT UK, I would say JD. He improved in ring a lot more than he did in NXT UK. And that match with Action, the finish, breaking the ankle, or the knee, had him out for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it has to be JD for me.
All right. I was torn here. I'm torn between Wes Lee and Carmelo Hayes, because I could put Carmelo Hayes, phenomenal run as North American champion. He got the it factor. He's there ready to take that to his stardom. But he also had Wes Lee, like you said, former tag team champion. It wasn't his fault with the adversity, what happened outside of the WWE walls, kayfabe, what happened with his partner Nash Carter, and all the adversity, reinventing himself, having such a lukewarm battle with he had Sanga, he had earned his respect and he just started persevering NXT, and he was the NXT North American champion. But I'm gonna give it either one you could pick, flip a coin, Carmelo Hayes or Wes Lee. I'm gonna go Wes Lee because we know what Carmelo Hayes' stock is gonna be. He's star. He's gonna get all these acolytes, but I'm gonna take Wes Lee personally there. So with that said, Pete, do you have anyone before we?
Yeah, I actually thought of someone. I'm actually gonna give that to Axiom, because I feel like he's been very much improving, especially the match during Deadline. That especially solidified that he's a very amazing performer. So for me, I got to give it to him. He's been doing very well.
Oh, nice. Let me go back now to another topic. Men's tag team of the year. Your best tag team whatsoever, all in all. When you think of NXT, you think of men's tag team. Who do you think of?
I feel like I got to give it to Diamond Mine. I feel like the boys have had a very solid year, especially winning the NXT tag team titles during that year. So I feel like they had a very solidified year, and it's been very good.
All right. Jay?
It's a coin flip for me. It's a 50-50 between Pretty Deadly and the Creed brothers. I mean, there's two tag teams that are amazing, and with Creed brothers winning the tag titles and then dropping it at Worlds Collide to Pretty Deadly, and they unified both the NXT UK tag team champion and the NXT American tag team champion. So it's basically just a 50-50 between them.
Yeah, I'm going with Pretty Deadly personally, because Pretty Deadly has more matches with more main roster ready, and they all look phenomenal with that New Day match. And prior to that, they had a couple more matches there. They showed us. I didn't like too much the Viking Raiders with the Creed brothers. I thought it was a little sloppy there. And of course, Rocky Raiders won. So I that's why I'm gonna put Pretty Deadly over a little more, because they get it. They made it look good. They win a heelish way, and they get that heat. We even still being champions. So I'm gonna give it a Pretty Deadly because they fill their role, their paper, the way their role or their characters the way it's supposed to. By hook or crook, they win. So I kind of like Pretty Deadly. I'm going to pick them personally as that there. So we go now to the women's tag team. When you think of women's tag team in NXT, not a lot to choose from, but who's your thoughts there? I think this is going to be unanimous, but I'll go to Pete.
Yeah, I think obviously it's pretty unanimous on this one. It's obviously goes to Toxic Attraction. They've really are a great tag team. It was very good throughout the year that they've been dominant champions. So, I got to give it to them. They've been very dominant throughout the year.
Your thoughts, Jay?
I would go with Toxic, but in my mind right now, Kaden and Quintana are on a roll. They, having that tag team champions winning finally. They finally won, and the crowd loves them so much. And I would love to see them hold those titles for a lot longer than I think they will.
All right. I was thinking of Kate and Katana, but they're, to me, seem like it's too short of a title range yet. Haven't had that signature defense, and they're missing, and it feels like they're like a placeholding titles yet until we get some more. But it is, to me, it's Toxic Attraction to me, because one of the reasons why I got so hooked on NXT was from Stand and Deliver. See, I'm going back. I'm going to be totally transparent and honest. I started getting into NXT so heavily, head over heels. Now I watch all the replay ones, all the, good. Thank God for Peacock. But I started watching week in, week out. Was from Stand and Deliver when Raquel. That time it was Raquel Rodriguez or Gonzalez and Dakota Kai took the titles from them on Stand and Deliver, and that's when I saw how they perform. I was like, you know what, I really like this group, and I got hooked on Toxic Attraction from there, from the way they fought, the way they wrestled, and the way all the mannerisms that come with her. JC Jane to me is a superstar in the making. There, I know Priscilla, aka Gigi, has to get her wrestling ability more up to par, but all in all, to me, they're the breakout. When I think of women's tag team in NXT, I think of Toxic Attraction. All right, so here's another one. Any female tag team that you feel like coming up is ready to break out for next year? I'm having a hard time. I couldn't pick one out there because we don't know if they're going to stay as tag teams the way WWE portrays. So this was a little tough one. And I understand if you think of any, if you go with no one, I could take that answer as well. Pete?
I don't really know because like you said, there's really it kind of really seems like they're kind of placeholders before they kind of split. So I don't know. I really can go with nobody right now.
Yeah. Jay, anyone you think of that we see and level up, maybe team up, but like you said, we don't know if they're just to throw out there so they can learn how to tag? Or
right now, I would have said nobody, but just to spice things up, I'm going to say Ivy and Tatum. They're on a roll in level up, and then coming back to NXT a little bit with the Creed brothers, and then now having that triple threat. They did amazing in that triple threat. It's unfortunate that they didn't win, but I would have loved to see them get a push.
I wanted to bring them up as well, but since we don't know the storyline with Ivy and Diamond Mine with in the shade, we don't know if there's going to be a dissension and where that goes, how that's going to affect them as Ivy and Tatum. How's that going to affect them? But that's why I didn't really pick them. I would have said the breakout would have been, to be honest with you, a team that I want to see get better is Valentina and Florette and Julissa, but they're injured right now. They had some good. When they part of that women's triple threat tag team, they did a really nice move. Even though they were the first ones to get pinned, but they've been a tag team longer, like Katana and Cadence. I like them as well, but like you said, you could have picked no one there, to be honest with you. Would have been an answer as well, because like we said, WWE and NXT, we don't know if they're going to keep them as a tag team if they want to go forward with that. So it'd be interesting, because we saw Nikita and Zoe. That was a split. That it was weird when they put them together and then they split them. So I can understand there. Any breakout male tag teams going forward, that we might see a little more, because there's some names out there. Jason, your thoughts? Anyone comes to mind that you might think you might be a performer, or look out for 2023 performer? Keep an eye out going forward.
Currently, yes. Industry. They definitely. It's a weird pick to choose, but I would like to see them, dominate the tag team division in NXT. I want to see them be champions, but at the same time, I want to see them just defeat everybody and not be champions. But yeah, I can definitely see them being tag team champions and holding that for a long, long time.
All right, Pete. Any males?
I feel like I mean, I was gonna say Veer and Sangha, but we really haven't seen them like tag team yet. But I feel like if they were to hold on to the titles, I feel like it would be very dominant. But I gotta to really give it to somebody. I gotta give it to Inoue and friends. So because I feel like next year they're gonna really push their tag team power, and I feel like maybe at some point they might dethrone the New Day and become the new champs. I feel like it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've been saying I'm thinking they're the ones and Vengeance. I think they take those titles of not in New Year's Evil one. And once I see hear those two are on about to face one another, that's when we're gonna get new tag team champions. I think New Day will go back to the main roster and just help them there. But I think Inoue and Malik Blade are gonna be the new NXT champions. I think they're the breakout up and coming tag teams. But here's a name though, Bronco Lima and Lucius. Keep an eye out there. You have to watch.
Oh,
You have to watch and Level Up. They're hard hitting. They remind you of Doom. They are a tag team force. And then when they team up with Zion Quinn, that's a 6-man formidable. And then they have Lola Vice as their female representative. They do that a lot of house shows. I would love them to keep them in the main roster, guys, because that is unbelievable force there. That group there, if they were to come up, they could give them a run for their money for schisms, with Ava Rain and Lola Vice, all of that there for even Chase U with Duke and Andre Chase and Thea. Those are up and comers there going forward there. So let me go down to this portion here. Which is your top match of the year in NXT that you, even if it's not the favorite, but it was your favorite? Pete, you want me to skip to Jason or you got one?
I got one. Obviously it's got to be at Halloween Havoc, that triple threat match for the NXT title. Braun Breaker, JD. Oh man, that was just that match was amazing. A lot of moves and a lot of spots that went amazing. I got to give it to them. That was a match that really sold it.
All right, Jason, do you have any favorite?
Would have to agree with Pete. Unfortunately, I was not there to witness in person, but that match was incredible. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Once somebody was going for a pin, I thought they would win, and it just keep going and keep going and keep going. And that match was really, really good.
All right, I'm not giving anything for Halloween Havoc, any matches. I'm just biased. No, I'm gonna go with Worlds Collide. The match was phenomenal. It's a tough one because it could have been any one of these matches. The title where Braun Breaker and Tyler Bates, my God, that was a good match. You could pick any one of the matches from those cards. You could say, and to me, that's going to be, I'm going to give you the cat out of the bag. That's the best premium live event of the year for me personally, was a Worlds Collide. It was just awesome throughout the whole card. It was we lost our voice for days, and it was awesome there. That was the best card of the night, of the whole year, in my opinion. And the fight for the match of the night was Braun versus Tyler Bates, was phenomenal. And then me and Pete were part of the picture there. If you go to Table of Three with Braun Breaker with the Steiners, when they showed the video, we're there. We're taking a picture with Braun Breaker. We're part of the closing video part of it. That was cool for obvious reasons. But Pete, your thoughts there? Wrestling the premium live event for NXT of the year.
It's got to be Worlds Collide. That was an amazing event. I loved every single match they had there. There was never no breaks. I felt like every single match just hit hard. It was one hell of a premium live event. It was man. I wish I went back in time just to watch it again live. It was great.
Yes, being live was good. Jason, your thoughts there. Give me your thoughts there. Your answer.
Worlds Collide definitely was a really good pay-per-view. But the question before, I would like to change my answer.
Sure.
Now thinking about Worlds Collide, Carmelo versus Ricochet.
Oh yes.
Match,
I
forgot about that match.
Yes.
That match was so
I forgot
good.
about that one.
Same.
I love that match so much.
You know what? Yeah, that one you cannot go wrong with that, because there was those high flyers, and that is the match of the year. Sorry guys to change it, but man, I'm gonna say that was it. I hate to change. Thank you, Jason, for that one, but that was the match of the. I knew it was. I said the whole card, but what a way to start the match with that match. Those high flyers. Yeah, I agree with you there. Wow. Now, give me your female match of the year. Your thoughts?
May have to come back to me. I gotta go back and think for a second.
Okay. Jason, you have anyone particular?
I also have to think about that really.
I'll give you mine, and it's the very first one that I watched, and I really was attentive. Was Toxic Attraction taking on Raquel Rodriguez or Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. That match was really good and Stand and Deliver. That really was a really good match. I really enjoyed that one back and forth. And I had that one, and I also had the women's unification title match between Blair and Mika as well with Mandy. But I really like that one. I'm gonna go with the tag team title at Stand and Deliver. It was to me my favorite female match.
To me, I gotta go for that title unification match. That to me, I actually like that match a lot. It was very good, especially the ending with the kneeing both of them at the end. That was a very good ending to that match. Very good.
And the entrance from Mika.
Oh
my
yeah,
God, wonderful entrance.
loved
Jay?
it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Pete here. Yeah, definitely the unification match at World Pride. And now that I think about it, I was going to pick what he picked there. But, I'm going to go for the unification match at World Pride.
All right. So that does the NXT. I think any wrestler you think keep an eye out for 2023. To me, it's Charlie Dempsey. Keep an eye on him. I think he's gonna put a rocket, and they're gonna strap him up there. I think they're gonna give him a major push going forward. Anybody else in particular that you think to keep an eye out, so you can tell our audience to keep an eye out for male or female?
I say, yeah, you can make sure you guys keep an eye out for Charlie Dempsey. It's gonna be very amazing. Can't wait to see more of him, especially, and hopefully we get that Dempsey versus Gulak match. Oh, I'm thinking probably New Year's Eve is going to be a very good match. I can't wait for that.
And Jason?
Yeah, well, I'm also going to go with Charlie Dempsey here, and I definitely can't wait for this match at New Year's Eve. Well, hopefully it happens then, because I really want to see it in person, and it's going to be all. What would Sheamus would say? A bang.
Absolutely. And also Sola Ruka. We mentioned Sola Ruka as well for female. Keep an eye on her for going up.
Yep.
And another name that's out of sight, out of mind, but guess what? I think she's going to be NXT Women's Champion will be Tiffany Stratton. Don't forget about Tiffany Stratton.
That's right.
She will be returning back, and I think she will be the next women's champion. I think she's the one that dethrones Roxanne when they think of removing the title from Roxanne. That's not going to happen right away, but I think it will be Tiffany Stratton to get that women's strap. I think she's ready for stardom, in my opinion. But that is the NXT. Guys, do we have enough time to do anything of the main roster, or we could do another show on that? It's up to you guys. I gotta know your time. That's why.
I don't think I could do another. I may have to leave a little bit.
No, so we'll end it here. We'll leave it at the NXT year in review, and we'll stay tuned. So we have the audience return for the Raw and the SmackDown or the WWE in general. So we'll do the main roster another day, and I know that we're about 30 minutes away from Dynamite if anyone watches that. But of course, they're not giving crap on TV, so you might kind of want to have to watch it. So you never know. No, I'm just kidding. We like AEW as well, So we're just throwing that there, But all in all, this was a good NXT review. We all enjoy NXT. All of us here, including Evan, we go live. We also got Justin, who goes live as well. We all go live and in person. We always meet. We always have a conversation on the line. We love the NXT wrestling. We're already signed up to go in coming up, so it'll be phenomenal. And of course, the chat says Ava Rain. Keep an eye out for Ava Rain. Hopefully, she's healthy. You might be right. She's gonna get. She's gonna get pushed if she's healthy. So she might get pushed. I don't know how far. Maybe by this time next year, she'll be women's champion. You never know. You never know in NXT there.
Never know.
You never know there. And let's see, any other final thoughts there, guys? Any other thoughts? Any other things you want to tell us about NXT or anything that we missed out?
I don't think we really missed out on anything. It's been a very solid year for NXT and for professional wrestling in general. It's been a very solid year for every single promotion that's been there. Everybody's been doing their thing. There's been a lot of great moments, and also Wrestle Kingdom is just around the corner. Watch that pay-per-view. it will be amazing. Please.
And not only that, on July 1st, make sure you get to watch the Great Muta taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, man. That's going to be a match that I'm looking forward. I'm a big Great Muta fan, watching him back when he was in NWA, WCW days. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see that too. So we definitely. Oh, wait. Let me see, Justin Miller. You missed my question. No apology, Justin. Let's find your question. My apologies. What was your question? Justin? So I can find it before we make sure we answer everyone's question. Definitely, we want to make sure we're not one of those programs that ignore questions. So let's see. Is this one? What's up, guys? Don't be mad, but who are the women main roster at NXT? Oh, I mentioned it earlier, Justin. I mentioned, if that's the question, I mentioned it earlier. All reports and in the rumor mill is Ava Marie will be the new manager or possibly a third member of Toxic Attraction. They want to bring it back into the WWE fold. One way, if they could see if you want to come to the WWE back, maybe not the main roster, because everyone's like, no. Maybe they might want to send her to NXT, be part of the Toxic Attraction as a manager or a part-time wrestler, or until she gets better, maybe help her ring ability skills. And when NXT is ready to move up the whole ladies, Toxic Attraction, Jason and Gigi, they all go together along with Mandy Rose. So a lot of rumors there is Ava Marie. Ava Marie does live in Orlando, Florida, by the way. So, there's a lot of contact there, as well as Persha, aka Persha, the former wrestler from also lives in Orlando. There's a lot of wrestlers that live in Orlando. So with that said, also congratulations to Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara just bought a house here in Orlando, Florida. So they just closed on the house. So good job for them. So we live in Orlando, Florida, so we know about these good wrestlers here that live here and part of our city. And also Xavier Woods buying out the whole Super Nintendo collection. I believe he got that in our friend's Connor's place over there in Gamers Inc. So Gamers Inc. on Alafaya Trail, giving you a plug. My main man Connor and Anthony, who both work there. So salute to you guys for that. And he was so happy on there. So if you guys want vintage video games, go to Gamers Inc. on there on Alafaya Trail in Orlando. Just find it there. Also, it's on the you look on our website. You look anywhere on social media, have the Gamers Inc. information. You go find out. They deliver anywhere in the United States. So if you're looking for anything from Super Nintendo to any Nintendo to any of those video games, Gamers Inc. is the place to go. With that said, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Jason, Big Evan, thank you, Evan. Thank you, Pete, producer Pete, who will be at times running the program at times or be here with us. We thank you guys for watching us here on Twitter, Twitch, anywhere. Justin Miller, thank you, Randy Sam. Thank you, Chris the Flash, Kyle, Billy. Randy, Jacob Peters, thank you, Evan, again. We appreciate everyone that listens and those that are going to watch later on the replay. Jeff Samuel, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And of course, if we don't talk to you, Dark Knight, we got 2 words for you. Just subscribe. All right, so let's hit that intro, guys, and enjoy. And we'll talk to you. Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. When we do the wrestling program, you join us. All right, peace.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab it bad, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad.
Be the villain! And I have no problem at all, because I couldn't care less if you like me or not. I'm here for success, and there's no one more successful and Grayson Waller.
Yeah!